Robert Wallace Malone is an American physician and biochemist. His early work focused on mRNA technology, pharmaceuticals, and drug repurposing research. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Malone has promoted misinformation about the safety and efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines. Early life and education. Prior to studying medicine, Robert Malone studied computer science at Santa Barbara City College for 2 years, acting as a teaching assistant in 1981. He received his BSc in biochemistry from the University of California, Davis in 1984, his MSc in biology from the University of California, San Diego in 1988, and his MD from Northwestern University Feinberg School of Medicine in 1991. He attended Harvard Medical School for a year-long postdoctoral studies program. In the decade after earning his MD, Malone taught pathology at the University of California, Davis, and at the University of Maryland. Career. In the late 1980s, while a graduate student researcher at the Salk Institute for Biological Studies in San Diego, California, Malone conducted studies on messenger ribonucleic acid technology, discovering in what Nature has described as a landmark experiment that it was possible to transfer mRNA protected by a liposome into cultured cells to signal the information needed for the production of proteins. With Philip Fellner, he performed experiments on the transfection of RNA into human, rat, mouse, Xenopus, and Drosophila cells, work which was published in 1989. In 1990, he contributed to a paper with John A. Wolfe, Dennis A. Carson, and others, which first suggested the possibility of synthesizing mRNA in a laboratory to trigger the production of a desired protein. These studies are recognized as among the earliest steps towards mRNA vaccine development. While Malone promotes himself as an inventor of mRNA vaccines, credit for the distinction is more often given to the lead authors on the major papers he contributed to, later advances by Catalin Carrico and Drew Weissman, or Moderna co-founder Derek Rossi. Ultimately, mRNA vaccines were the decades-long result of the contributions of hundreds of researchers, including Malone. The New York Times, in an article about Malone, reported, while he was involved in some early research into the technology, his role in its creation was minimal at best, say half a dozen COVID experts and researchers, including 3 who worked closely with Dr. Malone. Malone has served as Director of Clinical Affairs for Avancer Group, Assistant Professor at the University of Maryland, Baltimore School of Medicine, and an Adjunct Associate Professor of Biotechnology at Kennesaw State University. He was CEO and co-founder of Atheric Pharmaceutical, which in 2016 was contracted by the U.S. Army Medical Research Institute of Infectious Diseases to assist in the development of a treatment for the Zika virus by evaluating the efficacy of existing drugs. Until 2020, Malone was Chief Medical Officer at Alchem Laboratories, a Florida pharmaceutical company. He has claimed he helped secure early-stage approval for research by Merck & Co. on an Ebola vaccine, in the mid-2010s.